Certainly with beginning athletes, I find that the best way to work is that it needs to be the coach-centred system, because with a beginner they virtually have very little skill or very little knowledge of the event or the sport that they're working in. So what needs to happen is they need to gain that knowledge, and because of that the coach needs to deliver most of that knowledge to them at that stage. As the athlete progresses, what I find is that they then start to empower, or I like to empower the athlete so that they can actually then really develop their own learning style. And by the time they're more of a senior or an experienced athlete, I find that it tends to be more athlete-centred and they can drive the program a little bit more. Once they are that senior athlete or that mature athlete or an experienced athlete, then I find that they can really drive the program. They have a lot of ownership within the planning for the program, and they tend to come to me more so than me go to them with ideas, and we develop from there. I find that probably the highly experienced athlete and the elite performer a lot of times actually not necessarily requires it, but tends to crave perhaps more of a coach-centred environment again as well. So they're looking for the guidance to make sure they're doing everything perfectly, rather than maybe I'm not actually doing enough or that type of thing. So it can sort of turn full circle again with the elite performer.
I think the whole realm, the sport of athletics, there's a definite need for times and occasions for it to be coach and teacher driven. So, you know, when we're talking about safety aspects, throwing events in particular, when we're looking at pure demonstrations and technique work, I think it's often delivered by the teacher, and I think it works really well. And that doesn't mean to say it can't be fun and engaging. You know, it's all about the coach's personality and how they relate to those children. But I think there is, in my athletics, there's a definite scope of various coaching and teaching styles that can be used. As I say, right from the child-centred approach, where we're on an individual personal name basis, knowing about what enthuses them and motivates them, right through to the teachers and the coaches who are actually demonstrating and delivering in a very command style way at times. There's a need for that. And we cover, you know, partner work, reciprocal style teaching. We do guided discovery when we're looking at overarm and underarm throwing, where they have to throw a soft tennis ball, thinking about how far they might throw it and what's the best technique to do that. So I think it definitely allows us to have a range, and we go with a more traditional approach when it's needed, but where we can engage the children much more in a child-centred approach, we take that.
Generally, when I do get new people into the group, I've already spent some one-on-one time with them in the first instance, so I know that they've got the skills in the first place, but I still spend a bit of time with them when they first come into the group, just to help them feel a little bit at ease and to introduce them into the flow of how things work. And the people that have been there for a while know how things work, so that they can actually help keep the flow and the safety in the bunch. So it does work in that those people that have been here for a while also mentor the new people as well, so it's great all round.